What up? It's game week Thursday and another preview of this week's game. It is game 8 for the Yellow Jackets in week 9 as we play host to Syracuse at 12 noon at Bobby Dodd Stadium. And this is shaping up to be a pretty big game. We're almost sold out at tickets. At this point, I think it will be a sellout because there's only about 1,000 tickets left. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet and you want to be there, go get them. So about the game. This is a game against a team that, yes, they beat us last year. And it was kind of a crazy game because we were down by a couple scores most of the game. And we fought back at the end. But at the end of the day, just didn't have it. But I'm not really going to do a 1v1 as far as last year's game versus this year's game because that was an entirely different Yellow Jacket team and an entirely different Syracuse team. Yes, there were some similar players on each team. Syracuse lost a lot of players. For example, they don't have Kyle McCord anymore, and Kyle McCord had a day against us. He went 32 for 46, 381 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He was just untouchable that day. I had to tip my cap to him. It's just a phenomenal quarterback performance, and you don't run into a performance like that very often. And I think if it was just a little bit less impressive, the Jackets would have stole that game up in New York, but alas, we did not. And so we come into this one, and Fran Brown's crew is a little bit different. As most ACC fans know, they lost their quarterback, Steve Angeli, for the year, and Ricky Collins is in now, and he's all right. I mean, he's thrown 6 interceptions in his last 2 games, but that's to be expected when you're kind of a gunslinger. Quarterback, Haynes himself has thrown a lot of interceptions. Aaron Philo threw an interception in the Gardner-Webb game. When you are that quarterback that can make completions, you're going to throw a lot of interceptions. And if Angeli was in this game, I'd be a little bit more concerned about the outcome because I think Syracuse has the offense, particularly the running backs that Brent Key mentioned in his presser the other day, to have an explosive offense. And, you know, we all know our defense has kind of been on pins and needles all season. The Duke game was the best they've played so far this year, but we need consistent, strong defensive performances. And we're going to need one on Saturday. That it just is what it is. These guys can really rack up some yards, but they haven't really proven they can put up a lot of points. Duke, they put up a lot of points going into our game. So with that said, I think Syracuse is a scrappy team. And really, this is the only game I'm worried about. A lot of people are talking projections for the rest of the season. And I'm just that type of fan that doesn't get into all of that. Because quite honestly, I'm just going to be blunt and honest with you guys. I was not expecting this good a start. And I don't think a lot of Yellow Jacket fans were coming into this season. I had us at 8-4. And we do have the capability to be much, much better than that. But that's where I had us at the beginning of the year. So I know that, as Brent Key said, we can be beat. And we've proven to be vulnerable this year. And this is a game where I can see us really opening up on offense a little bit more. Syracuse's defense, there's a couple players to watch out for. They're one linebacker on the edge, couple DBs. But I feel like we can move the ball on them because I was just watching the Syracuse and Pitt highlights, and I like Mason Heinschel of Pitt. He kind of reminds me of Haynes. He's a bit of a, not as versatile, of course, but he's a dual threat quarterback, and he can move the ball, and he was successful at moving the ball against the Orange. So I feel like we are going to be successful too. We're going to put up a lot of yards, potentially put up a lot of points. And, no disrespect to Syracuse. I think that they're a solid team. I think they're a scrappy team. Kind of reminds me of 2 years ago when we went into the North Carolina game, and I believe North Carolina was undefeated, and we were 3-4, and we came out with the win. A little bit of a different scenario because we were the home team in that one, and they're traveling to Atlanta where they're going to be in front of a sellout crowd. And I can't go on X the last couple days without seeing people say they're going to come to this game. And I'm not used to that as a Georgia Tech fan. I'm not used to coaches and different people out there in the game of football saying, I'll be there at Georgia Tech's homecoming game. I'm like, and recruits are going to be there. And when I saw how many tickets we sold, I was like, this might be the most crowded game that I go to. So when you see that, you think the home crowd is going to energize these guys. And you see the difference between how Tech plays at home versus how they play on the road. That they struggle to kind of take over the game on the road. They have stalled out drives. They take a while to get going. At home, yeah, sometimes we have our flaws, but there's a little bit more fluidity. I think you're going to see that against Syracuse. I think we have the potential to score and score big. And honestly, if we're as good as people say we might be, this should be a solid victory. We're favored by 17.5 in this game, and it's for good reason. Syracuse is kind of in a transition period right now. They lost their starting quarterback for the year, and they're starting out this Ricky Collins guy who has the potential to be very good, but he's still working out the kinks, and an offense that has the potential to be explosive, but is not getting the job done. So I feel like this game's going to be something like 41 or 42-20 Tech. Like maybe we score one more touchdown than we did against the Hokies. I'd like to see a game where we hold a team under 20 points. And I think conference-wise, this one could be it. Because, we held Duke to 18, but tomato. They still got close to the 20 mark. I want to hold teams under 14. I want our defense to really have a solid day, too. So this could be a game where we really show out, and it's homecoming and the 10th anniversary of the Block 6 Miracle is going to be honored. A lot of things around the stadium. If you haven't seen what uniforms we're wearing, I feel like you need to, because they're chic looking. Personally, I like the gold at home. I know white at home's a little bit more classy, but I'm a fan of the gold when we're at home, just because it's a primary color. It's a good, solid color. And they're bringing back the retro T logo on the helmets. I feel like all that's going to carry us to a victory, should carry us to a victory. But like Brent Keith said, we got to focus, we got to feel off the energy, and we got to execute. So those are my thoughts on the game. For those of you that watch, I would really like you guys to comment on what I do here. I'm just starting out with previews and instant reactions and recaps about my team. And I might do it for other teams too. I'm not only a Georgia Tech fan, but I'm a fan of all Atlanta sports, Braves, Falcons, Hawks. I love them all. So you're going to see a lot of commentary on those teams too. Just let me know what I can do better. Right now I'm in the beginning stages. I don't even have a tripod. My tripod right now is my right arm. So I'm just giving my thoughts about the game. And if you're in the area and you want to come, I strongly urge you to come to a game. It's better than it ever has been. And you'll really enjoy your time at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Hope to see you Saturday. Go Jackets.